He's like the dawn of like the vampires, dude.
Yo, welcome to episode 19. No, this is 19, right?
1920.
Ah, damn. It feel like a lot. Episode 19 of the 00Lounge podcast. Malik Banks, I'm here with Aaron Christopher and Angelo Green. What the fuck is up? It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of news going on, so we're just gonna play it by ear on this one. We're just gonna talk a bunch of shit for the next hour, and then we're gonna go home. That's it. Alright, so what's up? What's everybody playing?
I'm still fucking with Fallout. I decided to do a complete luck build.
You redid your character?
I started a new character, all luck, level 30. That shit is freaking funny. Like,
how so?
Kind of broken. Like, when you finish, the more luck you have, it seems like the more the mysterious stranger comes out. And he pretty much comes out in one shot, half of the day.
Nah, he definitely does.
Half of the shit. For bringing back my crit and my AP, so it's like I'm unlimited in VATs all day with unlimited crit shots, like, and I'm just using nothing but energy weapon.
That's pretty good.
I just did the quest line for the cabin house.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did that yet, Ange.
Cabin house.
What was the story? Because I did a lot of quest lines, like.
Yeah, I started playing this week. I'm up to. I just got to the Institute.
Okay, so cabin house is the one house that you find pretty much in the middle of the wasteland. It's like the super fancy, clean mansion that's still there.
Oh, I heard about this one.
With the century.
Yeah. It's like downtown Boston. It's like kind of where the what do you call it? The Underground Railroad dudes.
Yeah. It's not too far from.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's it called? What's that quest line called? Freedom Trail?
Yeah, the Freedom Trail, yeah.
Okay, so house.
Yeah.
Right, there's pretty much this little microphone booth you gotta go talk to or whatever, and you did a certain level of, charisma to get into it. I just so happened to put nothing but charisma and luck, so I was able to get in like really easy. So I get inside, and this is like the cleanest mansion ever in Fallout. There's a scientist guy, there's a ghoul guy in there, and his family. They're 400 years old. Right? They look completely normal. They don't look like ghouls. So I start up their quest line. They tell you go get the serum. Do everything. I go to the house. There's like the last guy they sent to get the serum. He got killed by couriers, and we need you to retrieve it. So you go and retrieve it. And you get there. You kill all of them, and you pick up this thing called Mysterious Vial. Right? Negative 300,000 rats. right? Cool. Bring it back to them. Sends me on another mission. I go to that one house where all the what are they called? Like the gun runners are, and by that asylum that they keep locking you off.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go there, you talk to them. Like,
they let you in there?
Get in there. It gets interesting. Whatever. Pretty much. Whatever. You talk to them, then you go find their daughter inside. They send you on another mission to bring their daughter back because she just goes with random guys to like different parts and has a little boyfriend every once in a while, gets beat up and comes home. So
is that the one with the gangster underneath? The same chick? She runs off with like
no, different chick. She's in Diamond City.
All right.
Okay. No, not Diamond. Yeah, Diamond City. No. What's the other city with Hancock? I forgot the name of that one. Hancock is one of the.
That was the one where you become the Shroud. He's talking about. That city, right?
Yeah. The one where you become the Shroud. Pretty much the one where like everybody's like a villain.
Oh, you're talking about Good Neighbor.
Yeah, there you go. So we go on the Good Neighbor. You find it there. You bring it back. After that, they send you back to the asylum. You get into the asylum. Pretty much another quest line opens. It goes Secret of the Asylum. Pretty much, Cabot's dad had found this ancient ruins way before this whole Fallout Vault thing happened. He put this ancient ruined helmet on, and it made him like pretty much like some kind of alien kind of like dude. Like he has powers, he can move stuff, telekinesis, he can see into the past and the future. So they lock him up or whatever, and they were taking his blood, had him locked up, and injecting him into himself and weren't aging anymore. So You go down there, you do all of this stuff. You have to fight. I think this is the most raiders I fought, period, in the game. Like, in one building, like, whatever. You just go down these layers and layers and layers of raiders. So you get down into this place, picking up all these mysterious serums or whatever, and he's in there. He has the coolest looking helmet I've seen in Fallout, period. Like, whatever. Fortunately, you couldn't take it, but it's that the guy that sent you on the mission, Cabot, that's his father, that's actually locked in there. So he pretty much tells you, like, yo, do not let him out no matter what happens. Like, let him out, it's over for the wasteland. So I was like, from right there, you have a choice to make. So I saved the game, and I want to see what happened on both spectrums. So when you let him out, he force pushes every fucking door, everyone in the way. He teleports, he does all kind of crazy shit I've never seen in any Fallout game before. He looks bad swag, he's older, or whatever. He's pretty much like, you're gonna help me go kill my family. And he gives you, and it's like, his reward for helping kill his family is the mysterious serum, and it gives you like 75% damage reduction, like, and you every time you use one, you gotta come back to him and he gives you another one, like, it's broken, like, so cool. That was his quest line. He kills his family, he does it, he takes back over, and he starts setting up shop in the wasteland. He's learning that the whole world is messed up, because he's been locked in this thing 400 years, like,
yeah.
So cool. Now I saved it, and I did it on the other end. When you kill his pops, like you let off like this gas thing or whatever, that's like the only thing that can kill him is by injecting too much of this serum into him. So the guy gives like 600 caps, and he tells you to come back to his house in a week. I say, I went back to his house in a week. He has this Zeta gun, right? It's kind of like a gamma gun, but he takes his dad's technology from the helmet and puts it in the gun. So I'm running around in Fallout with a game that force pushes every single person to death. Like, it's literally like shooting one of the guns in Star Wars. Like,
yeah.
Doof, everybody was flying. Like, I love it. Like,
is it ammo?
He uses the gamma ammo.
So you gotta hunt down. You gotta hunt down those
Adam, the child.
Yeah,
but
children.
It was a cool quest line. Like, it was one of the most interesting ones I've seen, because it's like the more you followed it, the more immersive it got. And it was like you didn't expect this way bigger plot that came out of the mission.
That's the thing I liked about Fallout, though, is because each individual, like, I can't say each, because some was short, like, just go here, fetch quests, whatever. All games have them, but like some of the quest lines was like in depth.
Yeah.
Even though they wasn't part of the main story.
Yeah, they had like their own little story.
Like I had one where I found a ghoul kid that was locked inside of one of those like telephone thingies, like the bomb shelter things, but the ones that are above ground.
Yeah, the personal shelters.
Yeah. And he was stuck in there the whole time. Like, he became a ghoul in there, and nobody ever let him out.
Yeah.
And then he asks you about his family and stuff, and depending on your choices, because you could tell him, oh, your family's dead. And then when you actually go find his family with him, he's like, oh, but you told me they was dead, and blah, 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 so on and so forth. But then you meet this dude who asks you to sell him the kid. Right? And then you're like, nah, like, I guess you could choose. Like, I guess you could sell it to him, but I'm being a good guy, so I'm not going to sell it to him. So then I go and I meet the kid's family. They're all ghouls. And then the guy who was wanted to buy him, he's standing outside with a whole group of freaking raiders, and it's like, oh, bring the kid out and the family, but keep the kid alive. And then they just start bum rushing, killing everybody in the freaking house. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, like I've been like just doing the side stuff. I haven't been doing anything with the game.
Yeah,
I'm literally level 35 on just side quests.
Dude, I am level like 60 on my character. We're not doing those main story.
Yeah, I just now got back on the main story, and I found out some shit. I don't know if it's too early to spoil.
Yeah, don't spoil it for me, because I didn't even get to the
Alright, so
scientist people and all that crap yet.
Yeah, so you got choices, you got decisions to make, and
for a long period of time, I thought there was no lab coat in the game.
There is several. I found one.
Yeah, it's not.
I found a bunch.
There's really not a lot. Like the vault coach you're talking about. The vault lab coach, right?
Suit from
what suit? The radiation suit.
You know exactly where it's at.
What, the one that gives you 1,000 radiation resistance?
Yeah. It's stupid. It's
one of the first things I found in the game.
Yeah, it's almost suicide to get, but it's like you could get it right in the beginning. Like, you can literally start in the beginning from the minute you get out the vault and just run there. Like, it's straight going toward. Remember the house with the death claw in it? It's not too far from there. You could run straight there. There's nothing pretty much to stop you.
You talking about the Salem witch house?
Yeah. It's right. It's it's right up.
Nah, I got mine. I think when I first got the Vault, all I did was I had the South. And
but you ran into that area where it's like all radiation.
Yeah,
that's it. No, that's south. That's not by the witch house. The witch house is to the east. That's straight south. Like
there's one to the east as well.
Oh, as soon as you keep going south, like the sky just starts changing, and then like the whole screen's just yellow. Yeah, the whole screen's just yellow and stuff. I seen Baka like in there, and like there was mad death claws and rad scorpions and shit everywhere.
Yeah,
like it was crazy.
You haven't been over there yet?
Nah, I haven't touched. I've been around the whole place, but I haven't actually been in that one area because when I go, I just run.
That game's fucking creepy, son.
It is.
Good job, Bethesda. Made a fucking creepy game.
Yeah, minus all the glitches and stuff, but we gonna let you get away with that.
That's just par for the course for this engine. It could be worse.
No, but I honestly, the game is great, but I don't think they should have used the last gen engine. Horrible.
No. Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to DLC. Like that's the most important. That's a make or break really for the game for me now.
That game has so much content; it don't even need DLC. People are gonna be playing that shit for months on end, son.
Nah, they didn't fail to deliver content.
That game has content, especially when the world it doesn't seem that big. Like when you actually look at it, the world's not that big.
No, it's not. It's just dense.
It's dense. There's a lot of stuff. Like I did this one quest. Remember the one with the ship and the robot at the top? Yeah. Did you finish it?
No.
The ship
Boy,
robot at the top.
You fixed the ship for him, right?
The giant flying ship.
Yeah, it's a boat. It's a boat that's sitting on top of a building.
Crash.
Right? It's crashed. And you have to go through like a wrecked building to get up there. Right? And then once you get up there, the robot asks you to help him fix the building. But then raiders want you to kill the robot so they can raid the ship. So you got to make a choice. Everything's a choice in that game. Me, I decided to help the robot guy. Bottom line is, I fixed the ship. The motherfucker takes off and then crashes into another building. I'm done. And then he got like maybe like let's say this is the ocean, right? And this is the building. He got hit and then crashed into this building right here. So I was done. I was laughing. I was like, and then another quest marker popped up and you could go back to him and fix it again, I think.
Another thing that's irritating me about these Fallout games as of recent is Fallout 4 is so close to Fallout 3, it's not even fun. And it's like, where the hell is the Enclave?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't like just the Brotherhood style.
I didn't like the whole power armor sets anyway, so... Really
I didn't care for power armor. I thought it was stupid in that game. Like, I mean, it was stupid in the last one, but it's stupid in this one. Like,
if you guys only knew what Shabaka was looking at right now.
Alright, so I started looking up Selma Hayek, right? Because we were talking about her before. And there's a lot of Photoshop shit of Selma Hayek on the internet. And I mean, it's amazing.
Imagine
how good they got it. But fucking internet. Anyway, back to games. Alright, so what I've been playing this week in addition to Fallout is, I mean, they added Grand Theft Auto. They added what do they call it? First, they added 2 new cars to the custom shop.
Oh, Sean was telling me about that. He said he was racing someone with like a Viper or something.
Yeah. It's like
burnt
it's like a Dodge Viper type car, right? And then there's a it's called Drop Zone Adversary Mode. So basically, you jump out of like one of the, what do they call it? The fucking
planes or?
The cargo bob. You jump out of the cargo bob. You got like designated spots that you have to control. So it's like territory control, but both teams are jumping out of cargo bobs. So you gotta land. You got to hold a spot down. It's
like King of the Hill?
Something like that. It's like King of the Hill, but with like Halo skydiving type shit.
But I think it's still stupid because the game has automatic.
I mean, yeah, you could have built that mode,
right?
Yeah, like I don't like that.
Auto lock, yeah, it's stupid.
Like it's stupid.
The original Grand Theft's never had that.
No, but I thought you could select no.
It's always auto lock.
So it's automatic.
And is it like level dependent? Because I know some cats like they could get They zero in like mad fast, and I know it's like
no, because all you do is
high.
As soon as you pull the aim trigger,
So I saw a dude with like level 3,000 something. I didn't even know that shit was fucking possible.
Yeah. No,
Sean said he's seen somebody at 8,000. So
yeah, some of them cheated early in the game with the infinite experience and money. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody got the hack. There's no way somebody played Grand Theft Auto enough to get level 8,000.
Yo, I don't know.
There's no way.
I don't know who gave me that money that time that they hacked the game, but yo, Lord bless you. Because that game would be so fucking dull if I had to sit there and actually earn all of that.
To be honest, money. I really love that Grand Theft Auto, but that's my biggest turn off to the game.
The money part, right?
People cheated after like 5 minutes the game was out.
The auto lock. It's cool for the NPCs. It's cool for the computer. It's fine.
Yeah.
It keeps it tactical. It keeps you covered.
Yeah.
You understand?
But when all you gotta do is just click.
When it comes
click,
to player versus player, it's like who clicks first and who doesn't have the spammiest finger.
Basically, who sees who first.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Or like who's in a wrong position. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, like the game definitely allows trolls and assholes to have their way with you, son. Because sometimes, I'm just doing regular shit and, like, I can't get people to stop fucking shooting me, son.
Yeah.
I don't get anything
done. And the sad part is it'd be, like, nobody has aim like that in real life.
No.
Like, point, click, boom. Like, it's annoying. Like,
No.
I don't like that.
It's not a skill. Like, you don't need skill to play it.
Yeah.
No.
I guess they did that on purpose, though, just for casuals.
I don't know why they deduced the hand-to-hand fighting like that. Like, Grand Theft Auto 4... They had the real cool dodge system. You timed your blocks and, your hits, right? And they kind of just took that away. I used to like boxing it up with some people sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely more simplified.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried to, like, encourage, like, melee combat, especially with their, like, free mode events, where it's like, at any given time you're getting, like, a random, like, objective to do, whether it's, like, hold down this vehicle that's, like, halfway across the map, or... like go through a certain number of like gates in the air, or who can fly to the ground the fastest. And then there's also like forget what the exact name of the mode is, but like melee weapons. Like at any point in time, like the person with the most melee kills wins like that whatever round or whatever. And it's on the same map. You don't got to worry about a load screen, so that's kind of cool because I kind of hate having to like load into hoppers for like certain shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of jarring. It kind of takes away from the experience, especially if I do that shit on accident. Like sometimes, like I'll either be driving through one and it'll start like a race, or like I'll just be running through one, and for whatever reason, if I hit the button by accident, or it just like initiates.
What is going on with Rockstar and DLC for the campaign? Like,
Well, I don't know.
They're getting any.
Well, based on the story I read today, they're making so much money
That they don't care.
that basically, pretty much, it's like why do anything? They're making like millions of dollars every quarter. Like it's not like they're not engaging.
They're getting lazy.
They're not, not necessarily lazy, but like there's really no incentive.
Greed.
For them to do anything at this point. And I'm talking about a Kotaku article where it says, the title is No Wonder GTA 5 hasn't gotten any single player DLC yet. And it goes down to break down an earnings call that I guess happened this week, probably sometime today about Take-Two.
Yeah, they had a big Christmas.
Net revenue was $486.8 million as compared to the $954 million they had last year's third quarter. Which is, it's less than last year.
No, but they didn't have anything come out this Christmas.
Yeah,
this is just a buy Christmas for them.
Yeah. I mean, 2K16 has been out for a while. And their fourth or... Yeah, did it come out in the fourth quarter?
2K16's been out a while.
No, it'll be the next year's first quarter, so that will be what that's comparable to. But 2K comes out in July, August,
I think it's August.
around the time Madden comes out. So their first quarter, that's where you see the difference. But supposedly, it's like the article goes on to talk about Michael Pachter. Everybody knows Michael Pachter. He's like this industry analyst who's he's probably like the most famous analyst.
Well, he's not
in
actually
the business. I mean, I don't know if he's still an analyst now. I know he used to work for some analyst.
No. I mean, he's not actually an analyst for.
No, he's just
video
an analyst.
games. Yeah, he's.
No, he was. That was like his sector. Like that was his.
Well, he don't know jack about video games.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I don't know if he doesn't know jack, but sometimes his predictions are like.
Sometimes, like
a lot of the time,
99.8%.
But then again, like you always see like these analysts that predict like something's supposed to go one way.
I remember he
never
predicted
approached that.
Before the consoles came out. He predicted Xbox would be number one. But before that, he also predicted that this would be the last console gen.
I mean, then again, like there's some things that you just can't predict. Like.
But then why even open your mouth?
That's his job. He gets paid to do that. So regardless of whether he's right or not, nothing. It doesn't matter. He's done his job. He's giving people his opinion on how things based on whatever surveys or reports or evidence that he's looking at. Like there are a lot of trends that happen that you really can't fucking predict.
I don't know, but he predicted that this would be the last console gen. He predicted
a lot of people predicted that, and I mean,
And this is right now. This is the biggest console gen.
Well, it's one of the fastest growing. Like we still have yet to see it like reach like PlayStation 2 levels. Like when it gets there, when it gets there, then I'll say
PlayStation 2 took what 10 years to get to that point.
Yeah, but it did a large chunk of that in like the first
6.
Yeah,
but it did. But PlayStation 4 right now is beating that. If PlayStation 4 lasts 10 years,
yes, the rate.
If PlayStation 4 keeps this up,
that's if it holds. Remember, gamers are older. Younger gamers are into different shit. Consoles and more homes than ever, but consoles are not the only motivator.
Granted, but if it keeps this pace for another 2 years, it's probably going to smash the PS2 record.
Yeah, I mean, if it maintains pace, yeah, but you got to leave room for
because if it maintains this pace for 2 more years, it'll be at almost 80 million in 4 years.
Yeah, so that means like it kind of. But then again, like if you think about it, like the last gen consoles were out for fucking 10 years, pretty much. Like, that's a long fucking time to not have no hardware.
PlayStation 3 was only out for like 6.5. Microsoft still had that year lead. That's why it looks that long.
2013, right? That's when the new consoles came. So yeah. It was about. Was it 8?
It was
7,
Microsoft was almost 8.
Yeah.
PlayStation was like 6.5.
Yeah, you're right. But still, that's a long fucking time.
That's not.
Son, for consoles?
6.5 years. That's not a long time.
Son, it's a long time.
Think about how long it takes to make games now, though. It takes longer. You're gonna have if you have short console gens, then those consoles aren't gonna have a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean, it takes longer to make games. Yes, I mean. You're right.
Think about if developers needed to learn how to use equipment every 5 years when it takes them 5 years to make a game.
That's why everybody switched to fucking x86 because that's just like it just makes sense. Like, why are we doing this unnecessarily? Why are we stroking engineers' egos when we should just be doing whatever gives us the tools to make
x86 is good, but I like the way the old systems was built because
they were more discreet.
Exactly, and they was to each their own.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I mean, it works, but at this stage of the game, like, devs got it. Like, hardware is not the focus. The hardware is the tools. Hardware, that just gets us to where we need to go. Like, hardware is less important
now
than software. But, given how underpowered these systems are when they came out, I would argue I would much rather have a more powerful system. They're
only underpowered because people comparing them to PCs.
No. I mean, they're old PC parts. I mean, if you go with it, if you look at the trends, like, I mean, again, like after, like I say, post crisis, like that's kind of hard to see how consoles will ever catch up to PC.
Exactly, that's my point. But my other point is that if you put up to date PC parts on a console, then you might as well just buy an Alienware because that's how much it's going to cost.
But at the same token, like I'm really like when I talk about games, like I don't really compare. Like PC is not really a factor for me. Like I don't compare console games to PC because it's like apples and oranges. It's two different beasts.
That's what I'm saying.
But knowing and seeing the technology that's out there, I have a benchmark for that, right? So you can kind of like if let's say like new consoles were coming out tomorrow. You have a certain expectation of like based on what you've been playing over the last couple of years, and you have an expectation of how the technology is going to progress. And like me looking at the jump from PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, like there was really no real like step up all that much when it comes to like the change from PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 to the current consoles now. Like, I mean, some of the images look sharper.
But back then, technology was advancing faster. Because even if you look at PC games now, they're not really a jump up from PC games 10 years ago.
But I mean, again,
you really got to think about that.
Again, like I say
that's facts.
10 years ago, no, that shit looked different.
No. For PC, it didn't because Crisis was out 10 years ago.
But I'm saying there are games now that kind of put like Crisis 1 to shame. Like Crisis was a technically impressive game, but on a scale like you think of like the varied genres that have kind of caught up to Crisis level type, and not like Crisis like it was like an open world first person shooter, so it was like this persistent world. But like you think about EVE Online, you think about like all those other games
No.
where like they have scale.
But I'm saying,
and also they put on something that's technically
they're not
impressive.
drastically different. Not like a PS1 to a PS2 era.
No, I mean like
You
I
understand?
guarantee if we put like 10 years ago graphics side by side with something that's pushing the latest now, you wouldn't say that.
But now if you did that, see, you're thinking like with like PS3 and let's say PS4, which is only a 6.5 year difference, right? But if you looked at PS1 and went to PS4,
No, PS1 right now looks like fucking Picasso paintings.
exactly.
Like that
That's
shit
my
looks
point.
weird.
But like when you have close console gens, when they're too close, you don't have time to advance that far.
Well, no, that's not true because I mean technology is
like where are games gonna go now? I mean, when I'm gonna use the order for example. You see what the order looks like? The shit looks damn near real.
Yeah, but
now
you can't touch anything in there, so it doesn't even matter.
No, all right, I understand that. But 5 years from now, there's not gonna be games that even look better than that. Like that's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I think they will have games that are either equivalent to that,
Yes,
or better, but with way more interaction
but
than
not
that
a
game
lot
had.
of games. Not every game is gonna be like that.
I mean, to have every game come out like that costs money, and unless somebody develops middleware tools which will take textures up to that level with like minimal impact to development time and costs, which somebody's gonna do it. Somebody's gonna do it. Like it's gonna happen. It's either gonna be forced through with hardware technology, or somebody's gonna sit down and be like, "All right, let's build this engine." Kind of like Unity. Unity might be the guys to do it. Might be Unreal. But
I don't know about Unity. Unity's engines aren't that good.
Son, listen, it's good enough. I've seen some really great Unity games. Maybe it's another Fox engine or somebody that makes some kind of discrete engine for some game, and then markets for the mass audience. But there has to be those middleware tools that bridges that gap, right?
No, but what I'm saying is though, even like let's say they come out with a next gen console in like 5 years, right?
Yep.
That would be 7 years.
Yep.
It's still not going to be a big jump from what we have now.
Well, that's because of the way console pricing structure is set up, right? You're gonna get like minimal, especially now. They're gonna do minimal spec increases, right?
Yeah, because as of now, you can't come out with a $500 console and think it's going to sell. That's not going to happen.
No, but then again, like if you committed to taking a loss, right, on the hardware and then sell the service as a way of making that money up, right? Let's say like, all right, you buy the hardware for let's say $399, which people seem to be comfortable with at this point. But Xbox Live goes out.
No, they're gonna lose contracts.
But again, like I'm just saying, we're speaking hypothetically, right? Like you try to make the money up that way because software is hit or miss, right? Like people are buying games, but like it's more specific.
People buy what they game.
They're not longer buying you what they give you. Yeah. You know, like you have more choice.
People have each person has individual specific tastes.
Yeah, and also
they
like
cater to themselves.
With platforms like Steam and iOS, like the value of games has like kind of decreased. Like the value to the average consumer, right? Why? Like some gamers, even though some people consider like iPhone gamers not real gamers, but I pay $1.99 for a game and I can have the same amount of time, same amount of hours of satisfaction you get playing your 100-hour game that you paid $60 for. Like you're not gonna get where, as opposed to where it was just like the only place you're playing games is on a Nintendo and give me $70 fucking bucks.
But honestly, me personally, I don't think cell phones is even eating any chunk of console.
It's just it caters to a different customer.
Exactly, it caters to the ones on the go.
Yeah.
If anything, I could see it maybe eating into like the handheld market.
For me, I think it ate more into like casual PC gaming because like why play Solitaire on my computer when I could play it on my fucking phone.
Nobody bought Solitaire on it.
No, it was free, but
exactly,
again, still. Well, I don't think it's free anymore. You gotta pay for that shit now.
Maybe, I don't know. Solitaire,
Windows 10.
Yeah, who's paying for
Windows
Solitaire?
10? I mean, some people like it.
Like, if you paying for Solitaire, you're an idiot. Like,
I mean,
just straight sorry, because I was playing that 10 years ago, like for free.
That shit was dope when the little sun graphic came out when you were playing long enough.
Like, but not like.
I love you, Windows 3.11.
To me, cell phone games to me are like something for like women. like mothers.
Nah. Like cell phone games run the gamut, man. Yeah, like they run the gamut. They cater to all cell phone games. Cater to all.
But what would you rather do? Would you rather play a cell phone game? Or would you rather just sit at home playing a console? You know what I'm saying?
It all depends.
I'm gonna keep it honest though. That comes on my own bias. Like I don't take cell phone games seriously.
But that's my point.
No, but it's because of how I was brought up to gaming. To me, cell phone games are
because even if I was brought up in this age in gaming, I think. Just seeing what you could see on a TV screen coming from a console and then looking at what you could get on your cell phone is not even
But I mean,
like,
you forgetting now there's technologies where I can literally have a cord that I can put my phone onto my TV. Like,
yeah, but then you still playing just games like Candy Crush.
Even so, still, even if we just kept it like not even like bringing it to like another screen, right? To get it to where what we're used to, right? Just games as a format on mobile can be just as enjoyable, if not more enjoyable, on a fucking handheld. You just got to find a game that caters to your specific taste, you know. And if you completely write the platform off and all you see is like little Angry Bird type games or Gem type based Candy Crush type based games, then of course as like your pedigree as like a hardcore gamer, like you're gonna look at that and be like, nah, that shit's bullshit. But gaming. And gamers are everywhere on every platform, and you know, like whatever you play is what you play. You know, like play the game that, like again, like your time is your time, right? How a game respects your time is based on your perception of how useful a game is to you when you sit down and play it, right? You yourself, you don't like games that are like less than 12 hours, right? Depending on the genre, because you feel like you're not getting your fucking money's worth, right?
I think everybody should feel like that, to be honest.
But then again, that's not everybody. Not everybody wants to sit down and play a fucking 100-hour opera.
Even critics are like that, though, because look...
Critics are different. Like, I don't give a fuck about what a critic said. Like, I play games for me and my taste and what I like. So if I like a game that's 2 seconds long, and that shit, I say that shit is dope, and I put that shit for Game of the Year... It's my opinion.
That ain't what she said now.
Wow.
2 seconds long, son. That ain't what she said,
2
bro.
seconds, that's time. It's not like distance. It's like, you know, like that's that parsec situation shit you talk about.
Now I understand. To me, I feel like at this point, video games is all preference. Like
it is. Like, yo, gamers are gamers, man. Like,
and like we had an era too where there's so much. Like the genres have expanded to such a point.
Well, now that's
just
because
like you play what you play. Like you get what I'm saying?
And that shit's awesome. And then when VR gets here, yo, that shit's gonna get even more awesome. So.
I just hope Sony does it smart and lets you have like VR like compatibility with kind of almost not every game. I can't say because that all depends on the developer.
Like I thought about something too. I'm kind of scared for VR with certain stuff. I thought about it. Like I'm gonna get really annoyed and really irritated if I'm gonna play a game like Ark or VR, and it can't keep up with itself. Like that's gonna piss me off in that headset.
I mean, there are gonna be hardware limitations.
That's gonna be for everything, though.
Yeah.
Especially on console because you're locked in. I mean, again, like x86, people have been using that platform for a long time.
Which means it should be relatively easy to program for.
Not even about the ease of program. It's just like they should be able to allocate resources appropriately. Very well, yeah. Right? True. So you know what your memory overhead is, you know what you can, what your processor can do, based on that, and you find different. That's a part of the appeal of development for a console, because the shit is not going to change on you. You're going to be able to have several different techniques in order to bridge this shit together. And in the beauty of x86, even though it's like you don't get the choice between NVIDIA and ATI, there are tools that help you get the most bang for buck when it comes to like your development. So, you're not just like, cramming it all. Like there's no hardware solution. All the solutions have to be software.
Yeah,
based.
back when hardware was being customized,
yeah,
by each individual company,
yeah,
they had to like specifically code this way for this one.
Yep.
And then even to port it was so hard because they had to code a different way for that one.
Well, you had different teams. You had teams like optimizing for different platforms.
So, but now it's basically optimized nearly the same way.
Yeah, you got one. It's basically like one pipeline you're doing, and then you just tweaking for different.
Yeah, I think
different shit.
That comes down to
for devs, that makes the most sense. But again, like you play where you play, right? If you like Xbox, you like Xbox. If you like PlayStation, you like PlayStation. If you like Nintendo, you like Nintendo. If you like cell phones, you like cell phones. Apple, Android, it don't matter. Like whatever satisfaction you get from playing what you played. I mean, that's cool. But what matters is whatever you're playing. Like, is that shit fun to you? Right? Not if it's fun to everybody. Not if it's general consensus. Like nobody gives a shit. Like if everybody like that just serves like opinion validation. Like 1,000 people like what I like, so it works. Like that shit is that shit is cool if that's what you like. But I would much rather know that I saw something or either I heard about something. I was either convinced. There's nothing like you get an aha moment like from something like especially like if you didn't see like what. I don't want to play this shit, and then like you play it, and then it's like, oh, like this is why it's so fucking hot, right? Yeah. No, that's the shit I like about games.
That's why I experiment so much with it. It's like it's not a genre I want to try at all. Like I'm thinking about trying League of Legends just to see, like just to see, like we gonna find out. Like
I'm not too into mobiles.
Son, I would love to like have time to get into a MOBA, but first, not even a MOBA, like a fucking MMO. But
they time
cost prohibitive. Like I played the DC was it Marvel Universe. DC Universe. I played that one for a little bit.
Me and Aaron used to destroy that shit, son. We destroyed people in PvP, boy.
But it's one of those things like if you don't jump in with like when your friends on like something like that, I would probably enjoy more with friends. But by then, like when I got into it, like nobody was really playing that shit. So that's one of those things where it's like
a weird game. That game had a crazy popularity burst when it came out.
And then like
died really fast. And then it got another crazy
when it went free to play. But the limitation on the free to play was like the thing I liked the most was that they had multiple different character archetypes, right? Like all different powers from all superheroes and villains. And you could make multiple characters, but then once it went free to play, they limit you to 2 characters. Yeah. So one, you had to delete half your characters or majority of your characters just to even play at that point if you was playing free.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Like, I had this Green Lantern guy. He was greatest, but I had to fucking delete him. Because, like, I was just like, you don't know who to choose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you get into that kind of, like, shit where you have 10 characters and then they tell you only have 2. Yeah. So after that point, like, I just stopped playing.
After they did that and they had so much add-ons that was so expensive, it just got to a point like, okay, I can't play this anymore. I also felt like if they was to take that same game, same concept, go back to the drawing board and remake it, it would blow up all over again.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't bad at all. At all. It wasn't a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, for what I played, I enjoyed it. But it was just not fun because I wasn't
playing by yourself.
Yeah.
Yo, out of all people, you know who was playing it too? Raul. They don't even know what MMOs are.
Yeah.
All they do is play sports games and shooter games. And he was playing. I caught Raul. I was like, Raul, what level are you? 30. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's funny.
He was like, yo, my boy put me onto this.
That's funny.
Like, I was surprised because you know all Raul and I play. Yeah, like, it's sports games and Call of Duty. Yeah. And that's it.
They are the bro gamers.
I talk about an RPG with them. They're just looking like.
What is that? Like.
Yeah, like they're talking about the Division, right? I was talking to Chipa like 2 days ago, right? And Chipa was like, "Oh yeah, we've been looking at the Division for like 2 years."
Fuck you, Chipa.
And I was like, "Chipa, you do know the Division's an RPG, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "You do know it's not like Call of Duty. There's no like 6-on-6 or 8-on-8.
Yes, sir.
It's 3-on-3.
No, that's not true.
And
you obviously never been to what they call the Dark Zone.
Oh, when you go rogue? Is that what you're talking about? PvP?
Right, so you go into this thing called the Dark Zone, and it's mad people in the like, and everybody who's in the lobby who decides to go into the Dark Zone, it's all their squad. So it can end up being you against 3 other squads if your team is the one carrying the stuff. You get what I'm saying? So for the majority of the point, it's 3 on whatever.
Yeah, but I'm talking about it's not like a Call of Duty shooter. It's not a Rainbow Six. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Halo. It's not their kind of shooter. Like, you know what kind of shooters they play.
Of course.
It's not their kind of game. So I try to explain it to him. He's just looking at me dumbfounded. Like, and I'm like, yo, this is an RPG. Like, this is a heavy. Like, it's got heavy RPG elements in this game.
It does.
And I'm trying. And they not gonna know what to do because they never played an RPG before. So they're gonna be lost.
But you know what? I will say one thing. The roles were sloppy in that game. They weren't very specific. Like, you could be damn medic.
The presentation of the game is not really put together well, but we're not talking about that right now. But like, I tried to explain to him like, yo, you guys aren't gonna like this game. Like even Raul was talking about it too, and I'm like, yo, you guys are not gonna like this game. Like this is not your pick 'em up, and you know I'll call Raul over the mic, I'll call Andy over the mic, and we gonna have a 6-on-6, and it's gonna be a team deathmatch. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? And then when people got powers and like putting up turns because that's his skill tree, like you ain't getting no care package, bro. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I tried to explain that to him, but. To each their own, they're gonna buy it and they're gonna put it to the side, it's gonna collect dust. I'm gonna borrow it from them. They'll be like, yo, listen. You know what I'm saying? Create one of those fake accounts.
Exactly what's gonna happen.
Cause that's exactly what's gonna happen. Y'all remember Raul did that with Final Fantasy VII when it first came out, right? First came out. My man went and rented it from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Right? And because of what they were showing on TV, remember how it looked on TV?
Yeah.
How it looked so like they showed you the CG screen?
Yeah.
And they thought that was the game, and when they got it and it was Popeye.
Yeah, return that shit. Yeah, your father said some shit like that too. Like
he's like, yo, who the blind and killed the big arms?
Yeah, what is all this? Yo, niggas pop out arms and shit.
Right. So, and then I spoke to Raul about that. This was years ago when Final Fantasy first came out. He was just like, yo, what kind of game? I was like, yo, that's an RPG. I was like, yo, if you don't want that, let me borrow it. So
Is there CG though?
Yo, no, their PlayStation 1 CG was bananas for their time.
It was nuts. That's what you lived for. Like that was like the reward for like all the trudging through Midgard.
You got to think about what
save point to save point, battling tedious enemies.
But what came before PlayStation? I mean, we had the 16-bit era.
Yeah,
so all you had was pixels, like you know what I'm saying. And then when it went to like,
it got close with was that Diddy Kong Country? Donkey Kong Country?
No, that came close.
Those were, even those graphics were like, wow. It's like animation, looks like Toy Story, and nothing like Toy Story.
No, because now when you look at it, it looks like Picasso.
No, it was all bad.
Yes, some games still hold up really well though.
Anything that stuck to sprites,
anything that stuck to sprites is just bad.
To this day, to me, like I don't know, I look at Super Mario World and I'm just amazed by that game. So, I love that goddamn game.
Now, Super Mario World was like, yo, I could play Super Mario World right now and have fun with that game.
Yeah.
Like, even Super Mario World 3.
Yeah.
I love that game. Super Mario World 3 was dope.
Yo, Yoshi's Island 2? No, Yoshi's Island.
I never
Super
played
Mario
Yoshi's
World
Island.
2. Even though that baby Mario cried and I hated it, it had some of like the prettiest,
colorful.
Yo, it was an amazing game
great.
if you were like into pixels.
Yes.
And then it had all those Mode 7 graphics tricks. I love that goddamn game.
Yo, Super Mario World 3 was like Super Mario Land 3. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because Super Mario World was Super Mario World. But for Nintendo, Super Mario 3 was like the shit.
Yeah.
With the new costumes with like the frog suit and the Tanuka suit and the Hammer Brother suit. Like that game was just, to me that game, I played that game for days. I beat that game like hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Like I had the infinite P-Wings, like you know when you beat it and then you get the whole rows of P-Wings for your power-ups. Dude, like that game was great. Mario's back then when they started with the water gun shit and all that other shit.
Once he stopped throwing fireballs.
But I did read, like when I read online in forums and stuff, people say that Mario Galaxy was like the best Marios.
The best of the new Marios, yeah. Mario Galaxy was dope. I didn't play Mario Galaxy 2, but I have Mario Galaxy 1.
Like they say Mario Galaxy is like the shit.
It was cool.
I never played them because at first I didn't have a Wii like in the early days.
Yeah. Super Mario Wii U was supposed to be dope too.
No, Super Mario Wii U was good.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the other Marios, like after 64, like to me it just got like why do you stop? Why? He was throwing fireballs, now he's throwing water balls. What the hell? Yeah. What changed?
Yeah, he had to clean up.
Even Mario 64 took it to a little
Del Rio Island
thing
or whatever it is.
The molecular Mario and then the metal Mario. Like I just want him to fly. And I want him to pick his nose.
I mean, they wanted to keep trying new stuff with Mario. Like, you know, that's what made Mario live as long as he did.
I mean, I get the experimentation, but I mean...
But keep the basic, though. Keep what everybody already liked.
Shigeru, if you listening, like, please make Mario Theft Auto. Please make that. That would be the greatest
game
ever.
The greatest game since Mario 64 is Mario Maker.
Yep.
That game is hot, and they keep coming out with updates with new powers that you've never seen before.
Yep.
Like, the game is fire.
Yep.
No, Mario Maker was really creative.
And it was very...
No, but I heard some shit about that shit too. Like, let's say like you mad nice and people like your levels, and you get, like, I guess you can select the most amount of levels you can post, which I think is like 10 levels or something like that. If your popularity ever drops, because everything is server hosts.
They delete your levels.
Yeah,
I know.
Like you gotta remake that. Like I don't understand why it wasn't saved local to the system. Like I thought everything was saved local. That means if the servers ain't running, like you can't even play your fucking game. What did I buy? I don't know.
That is interesting.
That's crazy.
But the game is still dope.
Listen, the fucking game is goddamn near flawless. But it's online shit. That shit blew my mind. I was like, what? Because you say your shit dips in popularity, it deletes. Granted, unless you reach a certain level in that game, you can't even post a certain amount of levels. You can't even post that many. Right? You just create them and then keep them, I guess, local to your console. But the fact that, if you dipped in popularity, it would just delete your shit.
I still think they should have gave you,
You would have to recreate all that shit again.
I think they should have gave you branching arc levels. Let's say at the end of the level, if you get to the flagpole, it puts you onto the next level. That would have been hot.
Yeah, make one big giant level.
Yeah, give me enough to where I can make, you know how in Mario it had world 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4?
You want to make worlds.
I just want at least just give me enough to make one world, 1 to 1, 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard people ask for that.
That to me, that would have been good because
even a map editor for
for 4 levels
for Mario 3 style
yeah. Yeah, no, but that would have been a lot because Mario 3 had 10 stages.
Yeah, how listen, how hard is it to make a map editor?
No, I'm not talking about hard as in terms of for us. I'm talking about for them.
And Nintendo, man, I understand Japan was on a different wavelength.
They're on a different wavelength
when it comes to internet shit, but I gotta get your shit together, for real.
Which is weird because they're big on cell phone games, which is all online.
Again, the cell phone,
and MMOs for that matter.
A cell phone network is different from
but they're big on MMOs out there, so
it's different. It's just different.
That's all online.
It's just different, and then we're in America, West Coast is littered with tech companies,
Oh, we could talk about that for the last 10
minutes.
Sony.
There's a story up on our website. Please go to 00Lounge.com.
Sony moved their headquarters, bro.
That's
West Coast, baby.
That's if there was ever a situation that what I would have attributed.
I think that was more of saying we rule America now.
Unfathomable. No, not even just that. It's just hold on. Let me pull a story.
Nah, it's funny. It's funny. A Japanese company moved their headquarters.
Look how much money they're making here.
If you think about it, Japan is not the focus anymore.
No, it's not. It's not. And now all they got to do is bring the developers here so that we can actually get their games first.
Well, I think that's all. It's all a part of it, right? A lot of development is focused on the West Coast. They're merging a lot of stuff under the PlayStation.
Into the PlayStation brand.
Yeah, so you have all these different divisions that used to be on and doing their.
I think PlayStation is going to be their main focus now, right?
Well, it's all of their network services, the hardware, and all that stuff is kind of united under the PlayStation brand. So why can't I get online? What the hell's going on?
No internet service.
Let me connect.
Yeah, but no, that's definitely weird. I wanted to touch on that real quick. We don't know the specifics yet. But moving a Japanese company to the American mainland is just weird.
Yeah,
it just blew my mind when I seen it. I was like, what? I was just like, yo, we would have never thought Sony would have did that.
Yeah, so I don't even think it's gonna let me go. All right, so there were 2 press releases released, right? They released a mention on the PlayStation blog, and then Sony Japan released something.
That's the statement I saw.
A little more technical, where it kind of describes what they were doing. So everybody is being reorganized under Sony Computer and what is it called now? Sony Interactive Entertainment. So Sony Computer Entertainment and Sony Network Entertainment. All of that stuff is being mashed and put together under one centralized roof, headed up by Andy House. Sean Layden is in charge of Worldwide Studios, which is Shuhei Yoshida's old job. So I guess I'm not sure if he reports to him or how that works.
Nah, I don't think so.
But everything global research and development, hardware engineering operations, product and business management, system network engineers and operations, global partner development relations, Worldwide Studios, which is games, also third party relations and all that shit, and then global sales and marketing, all housed under one roof in America.
I knew he was gonna say that.
That. To me, that's a good sign.
To come, yes, definitely.
That means they're getting more. And this is again, like if you've ever followed Sony for longer than a year or longer than 10 seconds, you know, like the company prior to PlayStation 4, like
Japanese,
going into like Howard Stringer's tenure there, like he tried as best as he could to try to de-silo the entire company, because you know Sony, even though like it was a big company, it was kind of sectioned off into like 5 or 6 major pieces.
Everything was different.
Yeah, so you had Sony Pictures doing their own thing, you had Sony Music doing their own thing, you had Sony like hardware proper doing their own thing. You had the PlayStation brand under PlayStation branch, which is Sony Computer Entertainment, kind of doing their own thing, and everybody was kind of like with their own focus in mind, like kind of trying to like pool resources together.
And it was bleeding money.
It was big. It was bloated. It was like bureaucratic because you know, like the way Japanese companies run, they're very loyal to workers. So, you know, as opposed to like an American company, they're not going to just fucking fire you or some shit like that. Like, they'll keep you on for
like
a long
mass
time.
layoffs?
Yeah, so, you know, they had to get rid of people. They had to get rid of divisions that weren't making any money for them. And, you know, they tried as best as they could to centralize everything. But, you know, up until a couple years ago where shit got real dire, Sony had to make some real drastic financial decisions. It looks like they're finally consolidating a lot of shit, which makes a lot of sense. And focusing in, and what's good, you know, for PlayStation gamers, like for just PlayStation brand in general, was that a lot of that effort is being put behind what is currently their biggest and best product on the market. Because Spider-Man ain't doing it anymore. Like music business is in the toilet. They sold off their computer division. Not that it was doing that hot anyway. I'm not even sure if they're into chemicals anymore. I mean, I don't know how much of their microchip infrastructure they still have, but I imagine all of that shit is kind of pooled into, you know, whatever efforts on their camera line. I think they're still making.
I think their camera line's still doing good.
Cameras are still good. That's like probably like the only thing. Like mirrorless and DSLR.
The TV lines are shit.
TVs are not even like they've spun off, and I think they kind of did that in anticipation of. If shit goes left, they could just
cut it off,
package it, and then just push it off to somebody.
The same thing they did with the PCs. Because Vios used to be good.
Yeah, and if Sony doesn't make televisions anymore, I mean,
they're not going to be a well-known brand after that.
Nah, not even just that. It's just like that shit is, to me, like that shit is kind of like that shit is like hurt feelings.
It is because how many TVs I got in my house? Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, they all Sony.
They all fucking Sonys.
Yeah.
Like, I love Sony TVs. I got a Bravia. I got one of the first Sony flat screens in my crib.
Yep.
One of the original joints. Yep. They're not flat TVs. They're just the flat screen models.
Yeah, flat screen models.
Like, I have one of the original ones. And then I had remember the big gray fatback?
Mm-hmm. The Vega?
The Trinitron.
Yeah, Trinitron Vegas?
Yeah. Like, I have one of those. Like, I love Sony TVs, but even if they move out, guess where I'm going? I'm going straight to Samsung. Because to me, they're the only other quality TV, honestly.
I mean, Samsung, you got LG, but I mean,
LG's not as good quality.
I would only go with those 2 brands. It would either be a Sony or a Samsung at this point. You know, they're the only guys still kind of in the
when it came to TVs, that's where my loyalties went. Like, I would buy a Samsung, but only if the price was like better than Sony.
Yeah, that's something I couldn't reconcile for a long time. It's like, all right, I'm getting the same shit
for like $200, $300
if
cheaper.
not more, for cheaper, and that shit just blew my mind.
But the one thing Sony does do when it comes to their electronics, they build quality.
Nah, you know, I'm not saying it's all about brand. Like, I understand. Like, again, like I used to sit, right, and study Sony's entire catalog of electronics, like all day, every day, all the features, all like that. That's how hard body I was a Sony fanatic and fan. Like, everything had to be, especially after PlayStation came. Like, that shit was just like everything Sony. Like, I gotta have it. Like, I bought my first PC was a Vio PC.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, back then, right? It was Sony PlayStation, Sony TV, Sony Walkmans, Sony CD players.
Yep.
Like, if you didn't have one,
nah, it didn't matter.
What was you walking with? An Iowa?
Well, that was owned by Sony too, or something.
I know, but like that was like the Old Navy brand, you know?
Yeah. Old Navy to their Banana Republic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, so anyway, like this is a good sign that they're finally getting smart about how they move and operate, and kind of consolidating all of their efforts under one brand. And also, it kind of helps bolster their stock price as they kind of see, you know, all this stuff coming together, as opposed to, like, they have, like, this unit here, this unit here, this unit doing that. Now, you know, there's evidence of a connected collective effort. And it even tells you, like, you know, their corporate strategy and focus is they're targeting 1,400 to 1,600 billion yen in sales and a 5 to 6% operating income margin over the next fiscal year 2018, right? So it's basically telling you, like, listen, we're putting all our ducks in this boat. You know, based on all our network services and hardware, we want to see this amount of growth. And, you know, that's basically what it was all about. It's just tightening it up a bit and making sure that they don't have 1,000 cooks, you know, stirring the pot.
Nah, it just makes mad sense for them to do everything here, because this is where all their business is.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially behind that brand, like, that's the only thing they got popping. So they got to kind of put all their efforts behind that and create that platform that's kind of ubiquitous. Like, again, like, you look at a Facebook, right? You think they just got Facebook. Well, no, they got Oculus. They got all kinds of other stuff going on. They got Oculus. They got WhatsApp, Instagram, right? I said Oculus, man. Mm-hmm. They got all these platforms, and they're feeding all these services, you know, through Facebook and then all these other platforms. There are billions of users, right? It only helps them to kind of, like, at the same time they have all these ways of getting into their platform, have something that caters to different people, right? So, I mean, their cloud-based TV stuff like PlayStation View, I kind of don't see them as a competitor for Netflix. So I don't understand that. Their PlayStation View subscription, what's that? PlayStation Now subscription service.
Pointless.
I mean, again, like, that was part of their acquisition of Gaikai. I mean, at this point, I don't really see the value in it unless they drastically reduce the price or make it included into the monthly subscription. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
The prices is
at this point
for that stuff,
especially since, you know, Microsoft kind of put the gun to their head with that.
With the
that shit is just not even a factor at this point.
Yeah.
You say test up?
I'm not gonna. I could care less.
You lost more sleep on your shirt.
if you're playing old games on your Xbox One, that just means you're not playing your Xbox One games. So what's that telling you?
All right, whatever. Anyway,
so whatever. But you was playing Dark Cloud on your PS4.
Yeah. Well, that's a PS2 classic.
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
So you paid full price for that?
Nah, it was on sale for like $10.50 or something.
All right, whatever.
Nah, it was.
We're not even gonna do this with him today, like.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
All right, again.
Backwards compatibility.
Again, listen. That's arguable, right? Again, this is a good move. You know, it was good. It's definitely, like, again, I've been beating the drum for the longest. Like, if you look at where I always use Apple as a comparison, right? Because if you look at the company pre iMac, right? Mm-hmm. This was like 99, 2000. They had the guy who was in charge before Steve Jobs came back. There were, like, so many products on the market. They were making cameras, they were making printers, they were making computers, they were making all kinds of shit. They had no business being in business. Nobody wanted this shit. Nobody was buying it, right? They spent all this money. Stock prices like $10. Companies almost failing. They bring this dude back. He said, "You know what? We're gonna make 4 products, right? We're gonna make computers. We're gonna make a music player, which they thought he was crazy at the time. And I forget the other 2 they were supposed to be making. I think they were still either in print. Phones was like,
It was a little later, but
yeah. So there was 4 products that he decided, like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. And they looked down like, yo, you fucking crazy. Then he launches the iMac, and then the company's stock price goes from basically, like, almost overnight, like $10 to like fucking $100 overnight. So basically, you just saved the company with just one fucking product, right? Then the phone came. No, first the music player came, then iTunes came. Matter of fact, that was it. It was the phone, iTunes. iTunes, iPod, phone, iMac, right? Boom. Done. Those 4 products, you focus all the energy into those products. You use the hardware to push the platform. That's basically what they're doing right now. They're taking out a playbook, right? Use the hardware. Hardware's in the houses already. Now you got to push the platform because you want to keep people, right? Like iTunes. Like, I can't go anywhere. Like, I won't go buy my music from anybody else. I'm going to switch over to Android. I mean, I could do it. You know, there's no DRM keeping me from doing
it. Pirate everything.
But there's no point, right? Like, I'm locked in. So that's pretty much what they want to do. I mean, I don't know how they're going to... It's harder to do with games and movies now at this point, but especially since, like, Google Play and Amazon, and, like, they're already established. Like, that shit's kind of established, right? So, they got to figure out at this point, like, what services they need to keep you plugged in. Like, you know, especially like being that their customers or primary gamers. We already have Netflix. We already have Hulu. We already have Amazon. Why do I need to buy those same services from you? Why do I need to do that? At this point, like, it's just, to me, they kind of like, I can see all that shit going away.
Maybe it's just an alternative though. Instead of paying for Netflix for Hulu.
I mean, they did start up their own little PlayStation channel with their own PlayStation shows. What was
That's
the one
what I'm
that they
saying.
had on it?
Hero
Powers. I mean, again, like,
yeah.
but that's like Sony Picture Arm. That's just their movie arm. Like their movie and TV arm has been doing that for years now. Like, that's just something that's easy to do, right? Like, you just put some fucking MP4 files on the network and you have access to that. That's nothing. That's not like a whole platform like a Netflix. Where, you know, like, you have a server.
But once they get enough
like,
content, it might even be like comparative. But
you're not putting out that much content. Again, like, they got money like that.
No, but see, you would think about it like this. Hulu was the same thing when it first came out. You'd be like, why do you need Hulu? You have Netflix.
But no, they were
itself.
different. Like, they built theirs off the strength of having access to all the TV content. Sure, like, that was their strength. And then again, you think of like Fox and who owns most of Hulu? I think it's Fox and Disney. They started pulling that shit from Hulu. That's why pulling that shit from Netflix. That's why for a while it was like, yo, where the fuck is all my content going? Like, I'm paying for all this shit.
Yeah, Netflix disappeared.
Until they was like, all right, well, y'all gonna take your shit, I'll make my own shit.
At one point, Netflix wasn't even worth having anymore.
It was. But now it has some of the greatest shows on right now. Now they're competing with HBOs of the world.
Well, now they're buying back. Like, they're buying certain sitcoms from companies.
Yeah. But that's the way it goes. They're now a movie studio as opposed to just like being like
content provider.
Streaming service. Content is king. If you don't own it, then what's the point? Because everybody started seeing it. Like, that's why cable companies are stressed out now, because all they do is control the pipes and they're trying to tell people what to do. Right? That's why they're trying to double bill people for access to it. Like, they're charging us, then they're charging them for how much they put on and how much we access it. So they're trying to charge like 3 different ways just to increase profits on their end. But they don't do shit. All they do is they have the network, right? So if the Googles of the world saying, all right, well, we own YouTube, we own this, we own that, they're kind of fucking with us. Let's put a consortium together and decide, like, we want to cut these people out, right? And I'm telling you, that's the way it's going to go, right? Because the same way as cable companies can team up and be together, content companies are going to pull us together. All right, well, you want to do that?
At that point, they won't even need cable anymore.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
They really don't.
Well, we would still technically need it for internet service.
I mean, again, somebody needs to own the pipes, but it doesn't necessarily need to be who owns it now.
Yeah, they don't even try to let you.
Google has money, Apple has money, you know, Microsoft has money, Facebook has money. Who else? Yeah, those are like the big dudes. They can, again, like the Netflixes of the world have money. These are the guys whose content take up the most bandwidth on the fucking internet, right? And they have. It's not like they can push us around. They can't push Google and them around because they got more money and more lawyers than them. You know, cable companies are not that big.
That's why there's many of them. If they was one cable company, they'd be pretty big.
Verizon's big, but they ain't that big, and that's why they've been buying up content companies at this point, because they're trying to change the leverage in their position, because, you know, they don't own anything. They own any content. All they do is control the pipe. So it's hard to tell people what to do when we're gonna do, like, all right, you know, you're not paying us the money that we need, then we're not gonna have your content on it. Like, all right, well, then you're gonna piss off millions of your own customers because they can't access our content through your system. Yeah. And that's what Netflix was doing for a while when they were beefing with Verizon and Comcast. Like, if they were like capping their bandwidth, right? So if you were a Comcast customer, you would see this message pop up on your screen. Is your service shitty? It's probably because Comcast is doing XYZ ABC to our network.
I remember when that whole thing was going on.
And people were calling them up like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm paying for this shit. Why is my content shitty on Netflix, but I get to watch your trash TV in HD clarity? Like, that shit doesn't make any sense to me. You know?
I had a question too. Whatever happened to the party chat Netflix on lives? Like, that was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, but that was cutting down on users.
The 360 theater?
Yeah.
It was cutting down on users. Like, they wouldn't have sold as many subscriptions as they would have needed if we were all just sharing the same shit, which people are essentially doing now. That's why they capped you to 2 accounts, two active licenses,
pay for more,
or 4 active licenses. But I don't know. Like, the first time I was using Netflix, you could have like, it was like 8 people. Yeah, we all watching the same fucking
I had mad people. I ain't gonna front. I had mad people on my account at one time, right? And then like like months go by, and then one time I went on Netflix and I was trying to watch something. It was like, oh, you can't sign in right now. There's too many people on your account. I was like, what? I went on my PC. It's like I just deleted the whole list and then activated my console. Was like, click.
Bastard.
Sorry.
Change your password and shit.
Yup. Pretty much. And then I gave it to Aaron. I was like, yo, don't give it to nobody else.
No, I had to pony up the extra $3 to.
Nah, yo. At one point I had like, I went there and it had like I went online on my computer because at one point like you couldn't look at that part of the option on your phone.
Yeah.
So I had to literally turn on my PC. I was like, shit, yo, I gotta do this now because I couldn't watch nothing. Right. Yeah. I went and it was like 20 devices. So I was like, yo, what is this?
Too many people.
So I went and I just started sharing
like 6
shit.
cell phones.
I just checked it and then just deleted the whole list. It's like, nope.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Everybody watching at the same time.
I was like,
it happened one time. Then I started seeing like weird shit in my feed, like all kinds of stuff.
Like who watched Bambi?
That's why I just had to watch the movie shit. Like, who's watching this? Like,
who watched Bambi?
Yeah, I started seeing some weird shit, and then they came up with profiles, which made it a little bit better. But every now and then I'll see.
No, but then I seen, I swear to God, I see some profile that I knew it wasn't you or nobody.
Elray
got your. You got your login?
Not no more.
He was watching all kind of wonky shit.
Like, son. Like, I was like, nah, yo. And then he had some weird profile. I was like how you create a profile on someone else's shit? And you don't even tell them. Like, are you serious?
I'm particular about my shows.
No, it wasn't even that. I turned it on one day and it was like, log in. I was like, log in. And it showed another profile. Normally when me and Aaron share, it's one profile. We watch the same shit.
Yeah.
But then I went on other profile and was like, oh, your top picks. It was all kinds of weird shit. I was like, I went on that deleted that
selection.
Instantly.
He said, we have different tastes.
Yeah, I saw his selection instantly, went to my computer and deleted his shit. So I'm not even playing.
Oh, he was mad funny, yo.
That's funny.
This guy's hilarious.
Yeah, so we had an hour and 6. Y'all want to keep going, or what y'all want to do?
We'll do a couple of minutes. Yo, so let me tell you how Elray is riding Netflix right now, son. Y'all gonna be dying, son. Elray has to pay for a Netflix subscription in 2 years. You know how?
How so?
He bought a PlayStation 3 for somebody, and he never removed their account.
Oh, so he's riding that shit?
And he's still watching it for 2 years. So I came and I'm like, yo,
who did he buy it from?
I don't know, some guy. Right? I was like, let me use your Netflix. He's like, I don't got Netflix. I'm like, you ain't here watching Netflix all the time. Like, whose account is it? Is it Quinn's? Is it Angelo? He's like, nah. Like, he was like, yo, he's like, you go dead ass laugh right now. I'm like, what happened? He's like, this is the person's account that I bought the PlayStation from. He was like, he's real. I'm like, why? And he never went on. I'm like, you're an animal, like.
Yo, it wouldn't have been me.
Nope. I was like, yo, who's this profile?
Before I even created the eBay account, like all that shit is getting wiped out immediately.
Yeah, he didn't clear none of this stuff, his credit card stuff.
Yo, what I did when I sold my Xbox Elite? What I did, Aaron?
You cleared everything.
It took the hard drive. I was like, you ain't getting shit.
You ain't get it.
You ain't getting shit. Delete.
That shit's crazy.
No, that shit's bad, yo.
I remember when I sold my 360 to thing, I was like, shit, my credit card's still on it. I bought it back, cleared it, and then returned it, and then traded it back in again. Like,
yo, I did. That's the reason why. Yo, I still got the hard drive, the Xbox Elite hard drive in my dresser, so I still got it. Still sitting there, bro. All your credit card information, everything. So you don't want someone signing on your account buying games.
That's one thing. I don't get rid of hard drives.
I was sick. Somebody helped bought Gears 3 of my shit.
I keep all hard drives. Never get rid of your hard drive. You'll be amazed the amount of shit you can pull off a hard drive, thing. Never get rid of a hard drive.
I got none of
so
that.
the computer, he's like, listen, you gonna have to buy.
You got to buy it with no hard drives, bro.
You ain't getting this.
Hard drives are cheap anyway nowadays.
Yeah, but you can't delete shit, son. Like you gotta destroy the drive in order to get everything off.
I'm streaming Street Fighter.
That's why I will never sell a phone. Like never, you'll never get my phone.
Streaming Street Fighter next week.
Nobody, because all the crazy pictures I got on here, like there's no context for it. You would just be like, yo, what the fuck, man?
What's wrong with this guy?
He's a fuck. Yo, somebody, we gotta call somebody. He's a creep. We can't let him run the streets. He's a fucking madman.
Nah, definitely. I still have my BlackBerry. You know how old BlackBerry is?
Oh, nah.
I still got my BlackBerry in my dresser.
You got all the pictures of the burgers and everything, man? Still in it? I remember you was going to give it to Lenny.
But I took the memory memory card.
Yo, you would have never been able to sit on your couch ever again, son. So, matter of fact, you would have had your couch and like other little couches around it because you got it pregnant, son. No lie, son. Niggas got change in the cushions, son. You would have been pulling out all kinds of shit. Son, you would have been pulling out, yo.
Oh man, yo, thank God, son. It would have been a rap for that shit.
I still got, my BlackBerry died, fell in water. I still got it. I will not throw that shit out.
Yo, I still got my BlackBerry. I let him use it when his phone broke, but I took the memory card, so I was like, chill.
No way. Pregnant couches.
Just like you had a lot of pictures on your shit. I had a lot of pictures.
No, but it's not like nasty. But it's just like a lot of weird shit that you need context for. You can't explain.
So like
over years,
what is he doing here? Like,
yeah,
this is a back.
Yo, listen, you gotta have context, because the guy who would have inherited my phone, guy or girl, like it would have been like. Like, I got a picture of a bag of dicks on here. Like nobody will understand why that's there.
They just thought you was a creepy homo.
Yeah. Like no one understands this. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why?
I don't know. I got fucked up friends. I got people with problems.
With the hand.
I got people with problems. It's like a baby doll hand. Not and a slice of pizza coming out of a vagina. I
don't got pictures like that.
Baby loves pizza too.
I got real ones. Like
I got a few odd ones. I
some cheeseburgers and shit here and there.
Yeah. No, well, again, like if I ever have an accident on the side of the road or some shit like that,
I'm smart about it now. You know how I do it?
I gotta like hit erase immediately.
Nah,
because
I got it smart. Look how
paramedics are gonna go through my shit and they're gonna be like, "Yo, we can't take this guy to the hospital. He has to die."
Look how I do it now, Bach. I just lock the pictures to their text messages. I don't even gotta save them on a memory card no more, sir.
So that's an Android. I don't know what that means.
You don't know how to lock a picture?
I don't have to do that. I don't know what that is. Why do you lock pictures to your? What does that do? No, somebody explain to me. What is that? Are you Android user?
Yeah.
He's Apple. He's Apple retarded. It's okay.
Whatever, B. I don't understand what that means.
I mean, I'm accustomed to that.
He's biased. Don't pay him no more.
Yeah.
I'm not biased. It's just the best phone.
Yes, you are.
All right, whatever.
Yo, speaking of Apple, you know they're losing money? Or they're projected?
No, listen. They made less money than they did in the previous quarter. It doesn't mean that they're losing money. They still make pound for listen. They make They make more than 75% of the revenue in the cell phone market. You can't tell me that they're losing or they're any less than what they are.
They made less this quarter though. There's the
okay. All right. So what? How much is less?
I don't remember the figures, but I think they blamed it on China's economy. But
China's not buying shit. China's economy is fucked, and they're fucking everybody else.
But they don't.
Let me see. Apple's earnings, right?
They done lent all their money.
Nah, anywhere between.
They
lent us all their money.
They created money out of thin air.
Because they got a lot of people. They need a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? America creates money when they feel like it.
Yeah, but they were doing so much shit. All right, you can have a whole conversation about how they manipulated GDP and exchange rates and all kinds of crazy shit. But again, they're not like China's not as strong as they were like
10 years ago.
Not even 10 years ago, like fucking a year ago. Right? They having problems. Oil is done. That's having problems.
That's the big thing.
A lot of people's money, like paper money, not real actual like fucking hard currency, liquid money is tied into all of that shit. So price of oil goes down. So drags everything down here.
Me and Adam are gonna stream Hood Rat shit with your friends on Street Fighter when they come out and be streaming it early.
Yeah.
I seen Adam practicing. I was watching his stream the other day. He just couldn't get a combo off of his life.
You play that game and tell me if you can do it.
No, I'm just saying. I was watching. I never played it yet, but I was watching him, and I was just like, for a fighting game, like, it's Fanatic.
You gotta remember, there's no command list. Everything is new. You get the same mechanics are new. People are still stuck on the Street Fighter 4 way of playing the game.
But it wasn't working for him. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
because he was with Ken, and it was just like was it Ken or Ryu? I forgot, but he was with one of the fireball dudes, and he just wasn't working. Yeah, I was just like, wow, this is Adam, and I don't even know if he knew I was in his room because I just I was like, oh, Adam's playing the beta. Let me go watch his feed. Right, I'm watching it. I was like, oh, this dude sucks. Click, turned it off, man, quick.
Why you violated, son? Could have watched the stream.
No, I did for for a good 30 seconds, but it was
For
bad.
a good 30 seconds.
I was
How
just
do you,
like,
how do
damn.
you know he wasn't just warming up or like 30 seconds?
He was playing practice mode.
What we gonna do? We're gonna do 200 math death down. So we staying on one character the night it come out, no sleep, and we playing 200 matches.
And who you playing with, Sakura?
Nah, Sakura's not it.
I will not be
Who's
watching
in
that shit.
I'm doing Charlie. You know how many people are gonna watch it?
Broken Charlie.
You said what?
Broken Charlie.
All right, just send me the link. I'll check it out.
I wonder how many people
we're
are
gonna
playing
save
with
the video on
Broken
YouTube.
Bison.
So.
All right.
You said what?
I said, I wonder how many
He
people
got
are
nerfed.
playing with Broken
He got
Bison.
nerfed. He got nerfed 5 times already.
He got nerfed already. 5 times in a beta.
And it ain't come out yet. Like that's how you know you.
Hey, he gonna get a day 1 patch.
When
Watch.
is this coming out?
comes
2
out
weeks from now.
16th, 17th.
All right.
Well, 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Did y'all see?
I'm getting it.
Did y'all see the Uncharted limited edition console?
Yes.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, it's kind of like a paperback, like the way the Star Wars one was. But I think it actually looks pretty good.
Nah, I think it looks like trash.
You said what? I ain't even care for it.
I think it looks like trash.
I mean,
Yeah.
what do you expect it to be?
The Star Wars one was trash too. They just put a little.
All right, check it out like
Darth
this.
Vader on the place.
There's no. It's like it looks like there was no thought.
Charging like $50.
There was no thought and effort put into it. Like right, they just changed the color and they put, like you said, like they put like a graphic on the side.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
I mean, what else you gonna do with a console?
I mean, again, like if you look at how
I
the
think
other
last
guys do
gen.
it, they kind of make like if I'm buying something limited edition, like I want it to be cool, right? I don't just want.
No,
to
but
stick
it's
it
not
on
like
the
it's
side.
costing more money. It's just the same price. It's not really
No,
like.
but again, they're showing their cheap side, right? Because all they're doing is just, all right, how it doesn't cost them anything to change the color of the plastic. That shit is minimal, right? And then you just putting a sticker on it, like that's just ink, like that. Like as opposed to like you picking like different materials, whether transparent or like some other crazy
but
shit,
that also brings up
and
the price
making
of
it
the console.
again. I don't care if I'm buying
Yeah,
limited
limited
edition shit.
edition.
I'm not caring about how much it costs. Like if I want, you
Like,
gotta
the Batman one was the best one.
pretty much
Honestly.
something that's desirable, something that like outside of the normal console, I'm gonna want to spend the extra money on it, and it just doesn't look like it's worth it at this point. That's what I'm saying.
But at this point, honestly, like they're so.
I mean, again, they don't need it.
They can just come out with the straight black joint and call
Stick-
it they
stick
the
a game in the air.
Yeah, stick the game in, and it's gonna sell bucket loads.
But at the same
So,
time,
at this point, they don't need.
I can still say it looks like trash.
Yeah, I mean you could, but
No, I did.
they don't need it.
All right, yo.
To me, the best one though was the Dragon Quest one.
Nah.
The one,
That
the
was
silver
only
one
because
with
they
the
had
slime. Yeah,
Nah,
that's
it was
dope.
trash.
But it was trash. Like, it just
Batman, he's right. Batman one was the
Batman
best
was
one.
the best one by far. Nobody can even
Yeah.
better.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up because it's late. I got work in the morning. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we go, real quick?
Nah.
All right, plug your social medias. Do you remember?
Prophet NYC,
At
Ninja
where?
One.
Twitter.
all of them,
All right.
same
Ninja
thing.
one. I mean, come on. Anybody following this still already knows the drill. Like, all right, just go back, watch all episodes.
Yeah. So Zero Bleak at Zero Bleak on Twitter. You can find us at doublelounge.com. Follow us at doublelounge.com on Twitter and Instagram. Send us an email at thedoublelounge.com. Also, rate and subscribe on iTunes, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Gotcha.